While welcoming her husband Mark Consuelos to Live, Kelly Ripa admits that she always thinks about retiring. One of the longest-running daytime talk programs has gone by a number of titles over the past 22 years, including Live with Regis and Kelly, Live with Kelly, Live with Kelly and Michael, Live with Kelly, Live with Kelly and Ryan, and, as of Monday, Live with Kelly and Mark. The popular series on-air constant for the past 2 decades and beyond has been Kelly Ripa, who took over as captain in 2011 after Regis Philbin left. Before a 4-year stint with Michael Strahan, she even managed to hold down the fort twice on her own, and she did so again for a year before Ryan Seacrest joined her, although the American Idol and radio presenter turned down the offer. Farewell to Live on Friday. Monday's Live with Kelly and Mark, hosted by Ripa and her husband Mark Consuelos, will mark the beginning of a new era for the show. What if anything alters? No big deal, I assure you. It may be said that the show, accurately directed by executive producer Michael Gelman, follows the adage if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Before making their official debut as co-hosts, Consuelos and Ripa spoke with EW about why it made no sense, but then it made perfect sense for Consuelos to join his wife on the show permanently, and how their vastly different opinions make for compelling television. And Ripa wondered how many more years she had left in her as host. Ryan's perseverance is to be commended because I had serious doubts. We've talked about this before, we're friends, we're open, but I obviously had my doubts about him just up and coming to New York because it's not as simple as one may think it might be. I am aware of the sacrifices Dad made, and I genuinely believe he gave as long as he could. And when it became apparent that Ryan would remain and I would leave, I always imagined myself leaving and someone fresh joining Ryan when he first joined the show. It initially made no sense, but later made perfect sense. Without regularity and continuity, a daily morning live talk program is worthless. And Mark does it for our viewers as much as for me and our producers. Mark could undoubtedly persuade me to stay if anybody could. Do not misunderstand. However, I do have a vision of the concert without me. I don't consider myself to be one of those people who insists the show can't go on without me. I've loved Live since before I started working there. The unfortunate aspect of presenting the program for these nearly 23 years is that I can no longer watch the program, which makes me sad. The program is a franchise. I don't think any one host is where the show starts and stops. I think it's a team effort. And I believe there will be plenty of chances over the next years to try out different people and see what the program will look like after Mark and I are gone. I always think about it, so it's a true mental process. So that is the current plan, then. Do you have a strategy or are you relying solely on intuition? Ripa, I believe it's a little bit of everything. It's a good strategy, but I'm also going with my instincts. I am aware of Mark's extraordinary abilities. He is definitely a good fit for this format, I know. He has performed it so frequently, so I know he enjoys it. Though that's Consuelos, I believe it is a result of the crew members and the show's affection. Finding a method to make sure that the program is prepared with the individuals who would take over when you did go, or when we both went, has always been S top priority. Ripa, I think about that all the time. It's not about me on the show, it's about the entire show. About the show it is. Having said that, you have 8 more years before you set a record. For 31 seasons, Maury Povich had his own program. Do you not wish to attempt to defeat that? They are all experts, says Consuelos. Kelly began her job a few years before I did, virtually right out of high school. We met on All My Children and collaborated for 7 years before I joined the company after college. Our plots were intertwined. We had romantic ties. We actually got married. On the program, we got hitched. In real life, we had children. The show featured children. We had to travel. A long day. The most difficult method was used to accomplish it. I am aware of Live's schedule and it is excellent. In terms of the afternoons, it's suitable for life after the show. We value spending time with our families, even though we don't have as many kids as we formerly did.